This review is for Tricks Against Humanity by Eric Ross. There are basically, to begin with, 13 different... I hesitate to say the word trick because there are 13 pieces of stupidness on what is waste of a disc. Firstly, they use the word tricks, but there's no magic involved. I don't think I saw a single magic trick. It says a collection of magic tricks. I watched this, painfully watched it, and it was just dreadful. I have never seen a worse product. No, wait. I've seen Thomas Medina's magic that makes girls hot. That was probably a bit more interesting than this, because if you know that product, you know it has other things on it. But I had to make notes about how bad this thing was. Firstly, do not buy it. This is a piece of junk. Now, before we start going on about the whole idea that doing these kind of tricks is bad, I will defend doing tricks with, I've done things with the Nun, if you know what that is, the ILC deck, the Sponge Ding Dong, Big Willie, Night with the Ladies. Those are all tricks that you can do in a bar or a nightclub, and you do them to the rowdy teenagers and the people in university, the students. And they're the tricks that get you the tips. I've worked at Illusions Magic Bar in Manchester, done a few shows before it closed down, not because of me. And basically, those tricks work great behind a bar. Nothing on this disc I could ever recommend to anyone ever. I say 13 things. I seriously, they are not tricks, they're not even practical jokes. They're not stupid, they're not even funny stupid, they are just there. One thing, let's give you an example. One of those tricks, I think was called Blackpool Prediction, which is obviously a pun at somebody else. And basically, he had someone pick a card and said the card had vanished and was in the card case. He takes the card case, gives it to the spectator, he opens it, and on the bottom of the box, he's written some foul language, and that's it. And it's like, okay, well, are you going to produce the card? No. What? Why have you written that in the bottom of your box? It's got no point. It was a complete waste of time. It was just, the audience were left dead. His first trick was called Keno Man. Now, initially, I thought, okay, it's a paper cutting thing. It might look nice. It was something, I suppose, how to tear out a man from a lottery ticket. And then I go into the explanation and it doesn't show it you. It shows you him making it, but it doesn't show you how to do it. So that was poor. And then you look at it and you work it out and it's like, well, that's not it, because we didn't have a good view. And it's like, well, that was awful. And then you get so many other things. David Copperfield. Okay, you get a cloth, put your hand under it. Say you're going to make something vanish. Put the cloth over your hand and then you grab hold of a woman's breasts, and that's it. That's a trick. That is one of the effects. It's not a trick, it's not a joke, it's not insulting, it's actually a lawsuit waiting to happen. That's sexual harassment, and I would sue that person because in this culture you could make a fortune. That is, well, I mean, if you're a lawyer, and it doesn't matter if you're a lawyer, this is 2015, that is something, you would sue them just to get the money, wouldn't you? It's like, why wouldn't you? And you got it on camera because the guy videoed it. So, it was really, really bad. I should point out some of the good things. There were 13 performances, there were performances for all the 13 bits of silliness. Most of it was shot on camera phones. It was poor quality. A few of those things, one of them was really poor, as in you could barely make out what was happening, it was so pixelated. They had a trick called One Night Stand, where the sound was just off. I think the microphone was in the wind tunnel or something, it was that bad. Lots of things. The Lemon Party, oh for crying out loud. Basically the Lemon Party is he's got a very rude picture on his phone. He gives the phone to the person, tells them to think of something, and says he's made a prediction of what you're thinking. Then he tells them to deactivate the screensaver, and there's the picture of the rude picture. That's it. Well, where's the trick? You've not predicted anything. It's just so poor taste, so stupid. It has no performances, and this is the problem. As I say, I've done tricks like the Nun and ILC deck and the Sponge Ding Dongs. There are places where they can be done, and I don't disagree that there was a market for this type of material, and it's like he's chosen the worst material possible. Some of it involving drugs, which just made no sense because it was like meh, and he turns his back a lot on the audience, so it's like even if there was a trick happening, we didn't know because you turn your back to us. It's like you could have done anything back there. A few other technical things. The actual menu button to get to page 2 doesn't work properly. It doesn't highlight itself, so it was a struggle trying to watch this. Okay, coming back, Tricks Against Humanity, I have to say it's probably one of the worst products I have ever seen, ever. I'm not just in magic, but in life. Because it's not magic, it goes against everything. 0%, 0. Do not buy it, it really is. Eric Ross is now written off my radar. I will not touch a single one of his products ever again. It is that bad. It is just so poor taste, and it's lacking of everything. So 0%, I'm going to get off it. Move on.